Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thank you.
First off, I got to say, you are like one of my childhood heroes.
You know, that's always cool to hear because I've put so many people in the industry who said it looked like we were having so much fun doing Double Dare, you know?
I loved it. I was an only child. I'd go in my backyard and I'd play Double Dare.
You know, the show started in 86, so you know, you were a baby, my God.
Yeah, you used to all the different versions of Double Dare, you know, like Family Double Dare and whatnot.
Yep.
Because I was the only child. It was me and my cat, so I did Pet Double Dare. It was great.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Wisconsin.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we'd like throw the cat in the creek. It was a lot of fun.
I'm sure the cat thought so, too.
Oh, yeah, it was a physical challenge. I'd ask the cat, I'm like, are you going to answer the question or take the physical challenge?
The cat never said anything.
No, so...
Do I shave the kitty or put it in the microwave?
So it was always physical challenge, so... Go find the flag. It's down past the waterfall. So, Mark, it's great to see you on TV and doing all this cool stuff. It's a bunch of people. I'm sure you have a huge fan base from back in the day on Double Dare and everything. And Unwrapped, the next Food Network star, that's the big one going on right now.
Yeah, that's the whole focus of my life here since February. We've been working on it for so darn long. Either you guys cook at all?
Yeah, actually, I went to a culinary school for about 2 years.
Did you really?
Yep.
What stuff do you cook?
All sorts of stuff. Pretty much, I mean, anything. I don't really follow recipes. I usually go to foodnetwork.com to get my ideas, and then I just kind of go from there.
Hey, very cool. How about you, Lisa?
I'm also a huge cook. I have a big kitchen garden in my backyard where I'm currently growing 24 different kinds of peppers. So, yeah, big into cooking.
That's very cool. You know, gardens, I grew up in Indiana, and we used to do those a lot, and now I live in L.A., and it's a little bit different. And the thing that I miss, believe it or not, and growing up in the Midwest, the taste of tomatoes in the summer when you grab them from
homegrown
the garden.
tomatoes, yep.
It's just a different thing than going to the grocery store where they've been on trucks and heated and cooled and 17 other things, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, the hockey puck taste is kind of different than the actual garden taste.
It really is.
Yeah. So I got to ask you about this, too, because you wrote a book not too long ago about your dealings with OCD.
Oh, but yeah, that was a while ago now, actually.
Yeah.
I think about that. It was like 1999, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Now, with OCD and you being on Double Dare, how on earth did you survive on that show that long?
Well, you know what? When the camera goes on, you kind of do your job, and it doesn't affect you. It's just, the moment the camera would go off, I would have some issues to deal with, but that was a whole other part of my life, and, don't have those problems anymore. But, yeah, it was a bit of a challenge back there. We did Double Dare from, 86 to 94, and 525 episodes over a period of time. And the other thing was we used to do a lot of personal appearances. We would play Palace of Auburn Hills, for instance, sometimes twice on a weekend, filling it up with about 16,000 people. And when you do that show live, 2 hours, getting dumped with stuff from head to toe, it was kind of an interesting challenge, believe me.
I got to ask you about this, too, because I was reading up on your bio a little bit. I mean, all I pretty much knew from you was, the host of Double Dare, the family show and everything. And I'm seeing, I got to ask you, what was this deal on The Tonight Show with Burt Reynolds years ago?
Oh, my gosh. I was on the show, and Burt was going through a divorce. He was just angry and ornery that night, and he was supposed to do 2 segments, and ended up doing 3, and then backstage there were 2 people waiting, Carrot Top and Mark Summers. It was like, who do you put on? And they decided to put me on, and he just didn't like me the minute I walked out, and I was talking about being a neatness fanatic, and he kept saying, well, who said you're a neatness fanatic? Who said you're a neatness fanatic? And wouldn't shut up, and I leaned over and I said, my wife does, and by the way, I'm still married, and, whoa, and he took a glass of water and dumped it right in my crotch, and the next thing, I countered with more water, and before I know it, there were 2 pies out there, and Burt Reynolds and I are getting into a pie fight on The Tonight Show.
Now, who brings pies?
Oh, yeah, and the next day, the headlines in the New York Post said, Burt goes berserk on Tonight, and, for the next 4 weeks, I was on everything from Entertainment Tonight. My mother called all upset because I was in the National Enquirer and all of that kind of stuff. But as you guys know, that kind of stuff is great for your career. It just kind of happened. It was not premeditated in any way, shape, or form, and nobody told us to do it or rehearsed it. It just, he was in a whacked-out mood, and it was pretty interesting, a little scary.
So did you guys ever, talk after that incident, or?
Never saw him again.
Wow.
I was hosting a talk show in New York at the time, and I tried to get him to come on. He wouldn't do that, and so I've never seen him again. God knows what happened, in his mind, what snapped, but you always hear these stories. I mean, even 3 or 4 weeks ago when Longest Yard came out, he smacked a correspondent for a station here, I think, in New York. So,
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's,
well, have you seen his pictures at all since his little plastic surgery?
Yeah, it looks a little interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like Extreme Makeover, but I think it was done by the people who do the Extreme Home Makeover or something.
No, he looks like
with like Black and Decker or something.
It looks like Black and Decker did his face, kind of, yeah.
That might have been the case. You know, you can't go to Walmart for those deals.
No, exactly. It's like, Bert, you got it. Maybe if the money's low, just, you know, age gracefully.
Oh, I understand Charles Nelson Riley did it. That might have been the problem, so I don't know.
That's where he's getting his advice from or something.
Something like that.
All right, Mark Summers, he's host of Unwrapped on Food Network and the next Food Network star. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning, Mark.
Thank you very much.